recordings of my classes from previous semesters even. And I'm trying to make sure that all the grammar points at least eventually will get covered, and that you'll be able to access explanations of grammar on YouTube anytime you need them. And then we'll be able to spend more class time focused on actually practicing and not needing to spend so much time in class on explaining grammar that you can listen to the explanation elsewhere. Okay, so let's see, what's next on the agenda is our doruru. So let's go ahead and erase that. I'll turn that off for now. We can just, I'll erase that later because I want us to get going on drill. So let's do our tango doruru, and then we'll do our kanji review as well.
And just a quick question, when can we actually go over like the homework questions? Because I do have some of this.
Okay, as soon as we get through our vocab and kanji, then the next thing will be to talk about grammar, and that's when homework would be an appropriate question. Okay? So let's go through, okay, so okane,
Money.
okane,
Money.
okane,
Money.
money,
Okane.
money,
Okane.
money,
Okane.
ofuro,
Bath.
ofuro,
Bath.
ofuro,
Bath.
bath,
Ofuro.
bath,
Ofuro.
bath,
Ofuro.
kanji,
Kanji.
kanji,
Kanji.
kanji,
Chinese character.
Chinese character,
Kanji.
Chinese character,
Kanji.
Chinese character,
Kanji.
kyokasho,
Textbook.
Textbook.
kyokasho,
Textbook.
kyokasho,
Textbook.
textbook,
Kyokasho.
textbook,
Kyokasho.
textbook,
Kyokasho.
honshu,
This week.
honshu,
This week.
honshu,
This week.
this week,
Konshu.
this week,
Konshu.
this week,
Konshu.
CD,
CD.
CD,
CD.
CD,
CD.
CD,
CD.
CD,
CD.
CD,
CD.
市民病院、
Municipal hospital.
市民病院、
Municipal hospital.
市民病院、
Municipal hospital.
municipal hospital,
市民病院。
病院。
city hospital,
市民病院。
病院。
public hospital,
市民病院。
病院。
shower,
Shower.
shower,
Shower.
shower,
Shower.
shower,
Shower.
shower,
Shower.
shower,
Shower.
次、
Next.
次、
Next.
次、
Next.
next,
次。
next,
次。
next,
次。
電気、
Electricity.
電気、
Electricity.
電気、
Electricity.
electricity,
電気。
electricity,
電気。
electricity,
電気。
電車、
Train.
電車、
Train.
電車、
Train.
train,
電車。
train,
電車。
train,
電車。
荷物、
Baggage.
荷物、
Baggage.
荷物、
Baggage.
baggage,
荷物。
baggage,
荷物。
baggage,
荷物。
荷物。
パソコン、
Personal computer.
パソコン、
Personal computer.
パソコン、
PC.
PC,
パソコン。
PC,
パソコン。
personal computer,
パソコン。
ページ、
Page.
ページ、
Page.
ページ、
Page.
ページ、
Page.
ページ、
Page.
ページ、ページ、
Page.
窓、
Window.
窓、
Window.
窓、
Window.
window,
窓。
window,
Model.
window,
Model.
夜、
Night.
夜、
Night.
夜、
Night.
night,
夜。
night,
夜。
night,
夜。
来週、
Next
Next
week.
week.
来週、
Next week.
来週、
Next week.
next week,
来週。
next week,
来週。
next week,
来週。
来年、
Next year.
来年、
Next year.
来年、
Next year.
next year,
来年。
next year,
来年。
next year,
来年。
大変な、
Tough.
大変な、
Tough.
大変な、
Tough.
tough situation,
大変な。
tough,
大変な。
tough,
大変な。
遊ぶ、
To play.
遊ぶ、
To spend time pleasantly.
遊ぶ、
To
To
play.
play.
to play,
遊ぶ。
spend time pleasantly,
遊ぶ。
play,
遊ぶ。
急ぐ、
To
Hurry.
hurry.
急ぐ、
To hurry.
急ぐ、
To hurry.
to hurry,
急ぐ。
to hurry,
急ぐ。
to hurry,
急ぐ。
お風呂に入る、
To
To
take
take
a
a
bath.
bath.
お風呂に入る、
To
To
take a
take a
bath.
bath.
お風呂に入る、
To take a bath.
take a bath,
お風呂に入る。
take a bath,
お風呂に入る。
take a bath,
お風呂に入る。
返す、
To turn.
Return.
返す、
To
Return something.
Kaesu,
To
To
return.
return.
to return,
Kaisu.
return a thing.
Kaisu.
To return.
Kaisu.
Kesu,
To turn on.
kesu,
To erase.
kesu,
To turn off.
turn off,
Kaisu. Kesu.
erase,
Kesu.
turn off.
Kesu.
Shinu,
Die.
shinu,
To die.
shinu,
To die.
die,
Shinu.
to die,
Shinu.
to die.
Shinu.
Suwaru,
Seat. Sit down.
suwaru,
Sit down.
suwaru.
Sit down.
Sit down,
Suwaru.
sit down,
Suwaru.
sit down.
Suwaru.
Tatsu,
Stand up.
tatsu,
Stand up.
tatsu.
To stand up.
Stand up,
Tatsu.
stand up,
Tatsu.
stand up.
Tatsu.
Tabacoを吸う、
To smoke.
Smoke.
タバコを吸う、
To smoke.
Smoke.
タバコを吸う、
To smoke.
smoke cigarettes,
Tobacco.
Su.
to smoke,
Tobacco.
Su.
to smoke.
Tobacco.
Su.
使う、
Use.
To use.
使う、
To use.
使う、
To use.
to use,
Scowl.
to use,
Scowl.
to use.
Scowl.
手伝う、
Help.
Help.
手伝う、
To
Help.
help. Help.
手伝う。
To help.
To help,
手伝う。
help,
To
手伝う。
to help.
手伝う。
入る、
To
To
enter.
enter.
入る、
To enter.
入る。
To enter.
enter,
入る。
enter,
入る。
enter.
入る。
持つ、
To carry.
持つ、
To hold.
持つ。
To carry.
To carry,
持つ。
to hold,
持つ。
to hold.
持つ。
休む、
To be absent from.
休む、
To rest.
休む。
To be absent from.
To be absent from,
休む。
to rest,
休む。
to rest.
休む。
開ける、
To
Open.
open.
開ける、
To
To open
open.
something.
開ける。
To open.
To open,
開ける。
open,
開ける。
to open.
開ける。
教える、
To
To
teach.
teach.
教える、
To instruct.
教える。
To teach.
To teach,
教える。
to instruct,
教える。
to teach.
教える。
教える。Make sure you
教
get the
え
e.
る。
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure the e is a separate syllable. 教える。
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 Yeah.
教える。
Okay. 降りる。
To get off.
降りる。
To get off.
降りる。
To get off.
To get off.
降りる。
Get off.
降りる。
Get off.
降りる。
Like a bus or a train. 降りる。Okay. 借りる。
To borrow.
借りる。
To borrow.
借りる。
To
To borrow.
To borrow.
借りる。
To borrow.
借りる。
To borrow.
借りる。
閉める。
To close.
Close.
閉める。
To
Close
close.
something.
閉める。
To close.
Close.
To close.
閉める。
To close.
閉める。
To close.
閉める。
シャワーを浴びる。
シャワーを浴びる。
To shower. Shower.
To take a shower.
Yeah.
Oops.
シャワーを浴びる。
Take a
Take a
shower.
shower.
シャワーを浴びる。
Take
Take
a
a
shower.
shower.
Take a shower.
シャワーを浴びる。
浴びる。
浴びる。
Yeah. Take a shower.
シャワーを浴びる。
Take a shower.
シャワーを浴びる。
Okay. つける。
Turn on.
つける。
Turn on.
つける。
Turn on.
Turn on.
つける。
Turn on.
つける。
To turn on.
つける。
電話をかける。
To make a
Make
phone
a phone
call.
call.
電話をかける。
To make a
To
phone
make a
call.
phone call.
電話をかける。
Get to make a phone call.
Make phone call.
電話をかける。
Make phone call.
電
電話
話を
をかける。
Make a phone call.
電話をかける。
Okay. 忘れる。
Forget.
忘れる。
To forget.
Leave behind.
忘れる。
To forget.
Forget.
To forget.
忘れる。
To leave behind.
忘れる。
Forget.
忘れる。
連れてくる。
To bring.
Bring.
連れてくる。
To
Bring
bring
a person.
連れてくる。
To bring.
To bring a person.
連れてくる。
To bring.
連れてくる。
To bring a person.
連れてくる。
持ってくる。
To bring a thing.
持ってくる。
To bring a thing.
持ってくる。
To
To bring
bring.
a thing.
To bring a thing.
持ってくる。
Bring a thing.
持ってくる。
Bring something.
持ってくる。
後で。
Later on.
Later on.
後で。
Later on.
後で。
Later on.
Later on.
後で。
Later on.
後で。
Later on.
後で。
遅く。
Late.
Sorry. 遅く。Sorry.
遅く。
Late.
遅く。うわ。
Again.
遅く。遅く。
To do
Do
something.
something late. 遅く。
To do something late.
遅く。
Do something late.
Late.
遅く。
Late.
遅く。
Late.
遅く。
から。
Because.
から。
Because.
から。
Because.
Because.
から。
Because.
から。
Because.
から。
結構です。
That'll be
That would be
fine.
fine.
結構です。
That
problem.
wouldn't be necessary.
結構です。
That would be fine.
That would be fine.
結構です。
That wouldn't be necessary.
結構です。
That's not necessary.
結構です。
すぐ、
Right away.
すぐ、
Right away.
すぐ、
Right away.
right away,
すぐ。
right away,
すぐ。
right away.
すぐ。
本当ですか？
Really? Yukuri.
Slowly,
Yukuri.
leisurely,
Yukuri.
unhurriedly.
Yukuri.
Okay, let's practice deru,
To leave.
to leave, yes. Deru,
To leave.
deru,
Exit.
to exit,
Deru.
to
Deru.
leave,
Deru.
to exit.
Deru.
Okay, and that is a write-in because they didn't include it in the list. But I thought they should have since it's also in the kanji. And most of the rest of the kanji are words that we've had before. I wrote that, although a few might be new. So what's this one? Yes, south, and it's pronounced
Minami. Minami.
Minami. Right? Okay, so let's say it all together. Minami,
Minami.
Minami,
Minami.
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 Okay, and it means south.
South.
Okay. What's this one?
Country.
Gaikoku.
Gaikoku.
Yes, which means
Foreign
foreign country. Gaikoku. So let's practice. Gaikoku.
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 Gaikoku. Wait, it's Gaikoku, right?
Gaikoku.
Okay.
And it means
Foreign
foreign country. Okay. What's this one?
Shugoku.
Chugoku, which means
China.
China. Chugoku.
China.
Okay, so practice with me. Chugoku.
Shugoku.
Chugoku.
Shugoku.
Chugoku.
Shugoku.
Make the association between what it looks like and how it's pronounced. Chugoku. Okay, Middle Kingdom, remember?
Yep.
Daigaku.
Daigaku. Hi, Daigaku.
College.
Yes, it means college. So practice with me. Daigaku.
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 Okay. What's this one?
Gaikokujin.
Gaikokujin.
Hi, Gaikokujin.
Person
which
from another
means
country.
person from another country, yes. Gaikokujin. Okay. いいですか? So practice with me. Gaikokujin.
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 Right. And sometimes if they're referring to a specific individual, they'll say Gaikokujin-san or Gaijin-san. The koku gets left out for Gaijin. It's just these two kanji. But Gaijin by itself sounds rude. So they will say Gaijin-san to try to
Mr.
make it
Foreigner.
polite. Yes.
So that foreign guy there.
Yeah. So Gaikokujin or Gaijin-san are politer than just Gaijin. Okay, this one is
Jupun.
Juppun. Right, Juppun, which means
10 minutes.
10 minutes, yes. Juppun. Practice with me. Juppun.
Jupun.
Juppun.
Jupun.
Hi. What about this one?
Gakusei.
Gakusei.
Gakusei, which means
Student.
right. So practice gakusei.
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 Right.
Oki.
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 Oki. Make sure you're giving this the two O's. Remember, it's spelled
Oki.
O-O-K-E. Okay? It's not spelled O-U, it's spelled O-O.
Oki.
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 And that means
Big.
Big, yes. Looks just like it's kanji,
ah.
right? If you remember that this is hito, think of this as the arms wide open, right? Oki.
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 Sounds like my 4-year-old saying, it was this big. Oki.
Gopun.
Gofun.
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 Go.
Okay, gofun.
5 minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes. Okay, gofun.
Gopun.
Gofun. Gofun.
Right.
Sensei.
Sensei. Hi. Everybody knows what that one means, right?
Yes.
So, sensei.
Sensei.
Teacher.
Okay, make the association what they look like. Notice which one's first, which one's second, because they are a little bit similar looking.
Yeah.
Sometimes people reverse them.
It's like the same top part, but a different bottom part.
Yes, sensei. Okay.
Daigakusei.
Daigakusei.
College student.
Okay, college student, daigakusei.
North exit's B.
So yeah,
Kitaguchi.
there we go.
Kitaguchi.
Kitaguchi. Okay, Kitaguchi. Okay.
Deguchi.
Exit now.
Yes. Exit, Deguchi.
Dekuchi.
And is
Yeah.
that the same kanji in Deru?
Yes, it's the same kanji from deru. Deru means to exit, it's the verb. Deguchi is an exit,
So it's
it's
like
the
a-
noun.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay, that's the difference. They both could get translated into English as exit, but one is the verb, the other is the noun. So deguchi is the noun. Okay, and deru as a verb is just the one kanji.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is
hidari,
Semi.
hi, hidari,
Hidari.
hidari,
Hidari.
left, right?
yes, left. Hidari is left. And
Hita,
kita
Kita.
is north.
North.
hita.
Yes.
Kita.
Okay. Deru
Deru,
means
to exit.
So you guess the
exit, yes. Yeah, and the te form would be,
Either dete or dete.
which one?
De-
Deru, demas. So,
Dete. Dete.
dete, yeah, no small tsu because it's a ru verb.
Dete.
Okay, so deru, demas, demasen, demashita, demasen deshita, dete. Yes. Okay.
Migi.
Migi.
Migi,
Migi.
yes,
Right.
right hand. Okay, migi is the right.
Whoa.
Okay.
Something.
Minamiguchi?
Yes,
Yeah, something
Minamiguchi is
South
exit.
south
Minamiguchi.
exit, right.
Minamiguchi.
Okay.
West exit, which
Um,
is
what's the-
Nishiguchi.
Nishiguchi, west
Nishiguchi.
exit, good,
Nishiguchi.
Nishiguchi.
Nishiguchi, okay.
East exit.
That would be
Higashi.
Higashiguchi?
Hi, Higashiguchi is the east exit.
Higashi.
Higashi,
Higashi is
east.
the east, and
Oh.
Nishi.
Nishi is the west. Yes.
It's gonna be hard to
質問
remember
があ
all
りま
these
すか
directions. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm?
It's just gonna be hard to remember the directions.
Hmm.
It's hard to remember.
One of the things that helps is if you make yourself a little
Compass?
compass and put them in the right places. And when you've got a visual like that and you get used to seeing the kita in the north and all that, I'm looking for my kita part so I can put them. Where'd it go? Tanguchi is there.
Name an early one. We did.
It was one of the earlier
I
ones.
think.
I think it was like right in the middle.
Tabuchi.
I think Kita went to Kitaguchi.
There it is. Okay, so yeah, if you put them
Kita.
like
North.
this on your paper, you know, just like a little compass on a map kind of thing, that helps, because then you've got the visual. I believe there's a place in the back of your book that has a map of Japan.
Yeah, I think it's like. maybe
And,
40.
oh, they missed a very good teaching opportunity. They could have labeled the map of Japan with the 4 kanji, and they didn't.
Wait, what page is that?
It's
page
378. So, but you could, if this is a book that you're writing in, not a loaner, you could put Kita, Minami, Nishi, Higashi on there for yourself,
Hmm.
so that you've got it as a reference point. And just as a general rule, that's one of the ways to get more comfortable with those 4 kanji in particular, is to do like a little diagram for yourself, where you've got Kita, and then Minami, and then Higashi, and Nishi, like that. And after a while, if you look at that frequently enough, it starts to just kind of stick in your head. You don't need English words to translate these when you know they're in the right spots for a compass, right?
Yeah.
So that can help doing it that way. And like I said, it becomes very useful when you're dealing with subway maps and subway entrances and exits and such. Since so many subways are on sort of a north-south, east-west axis kind of thing, and they label their exits that way. A lot of major Japanese cities have a sort of a grid layout to a lot of their streets. There are streets that go winding and diagonal and stuff, but a lot of the major cities have a basic structure with a lot of north-south and east-west running streets, and so train station layouts tend to also follow that.
Now, do they, when they, so, for example, Southwest, for example, would they
Mhm.
combine the kanji, or would it be their new kanji altogether for
I
that?
believe they combine them to make compound words, kind of like the way we do.
Okay.
Would it still be like, would northeast still be like?
I think they would do
Higashi.
east-north. They do east-north, higashi-kita.
Ah,
They do it the reverse order of what we're used to, but
I
it's the
see.
same concept.
Okay.
okay. So nothing
Yeah.
gets shortened or anything?
Yeah, and I don't know that they necessarily use the kunyomi all the time for those. The
Yeah.
kunyomi is the Japanese readings that are most commonly used for standalone kanji. When you've got compound kanji, they very often revert back to the Chinese readings, the onyomi.
So it'd be
So-
like Tohoku?
Tohoku, which is a very good example because that's actually a region of Japan. Tohoku means northeast, right?
Yeah.
Well, the northeastern part of Honshu, the main island, is called Tohoku. So that's a prime example of where they do revert to the onyomi. This part of Japan is Tohoku. Okay,
Which part?
this part here is Tohoku.
The place below Hokkaido.
Yeah, but just below Hokkaido, where the 2 and 3 and 4
Could you
are,
just point in, where'd you say again?
this part here. Tohoku,
Like right here?
this part, yes.
Yeah, she says it on here too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Tohoku,
Tohokuchima.
yeah. Tohoku.
It's in the kanjis,
Oh,
little
yeah.
boxes too.
Yeah, Hokkaido Chiho, Tohoku Chiho, Kanto Chiho,
So Chiho is
and then,
region?
region, yes, and then Chubu Chiho, and then they've got, Kinki Chiho, that's interesting, I wasn't familiar with that term before, and then Chugoku Chiho, Shikoku Chiho, and Kyushu Chiho. So not all of the regions have those clear to understand names, but Tohoku is a good example of one that does.
Ah.
Okay, so Tohoku includes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that whole northern piece of Honshu is Tohoku. And somebody was asking about dialects before. Well, Tohoku-ben is famous for being incomprehensible to anybody but Tohoku speakers. Yeah, there's actually a comedian on Japanese TV who is a Westerner. I don't know what country he's originally from, but apparently when he learned Japanese, he learned it in Tohoku, so he learned Tohoku-ben. And so he's famous on Japanese television for the fact that he speaks fluent Tohoku-ben. And he became like a TV personality because of that, because just like, Americans would think it was really funny to hear like a Japanese person speaking English with, say, a really thick Scottish accent or a really thick Southern accent. It would sound funny to us, right? Well, Japanese people think it's hilarious to see a gaijin speaking Tohoku-ben.
Or they're living here speaking Queen's English. And it's
Right.
like, I don't know what chin wagging means because I'm not from Britain.
Yeah.
But really they mean talking, and it's like,
Yeah. Okay, so we went over our kanji and our verb conjugation drills, and we reviewed some te form. So let's look at some renshu. Okay, so you had some questions you said about homework, Zach.
Yeah.
So
I
let's start
kinda
from
see-
there.
trying to see which ones I marked. I don't really have any questions with the first part in terms of the conjugation, so.
Okay. I'll leave our little compass up for now. Okay, so let's start then with changing the following verbs into TED forms. So we're just going to play with dictionary form into TED form for now, since we already reviewed all those other structures.
Yeah, masen
Okay.
and all of that.
We already did all that. So okiru changes to okite, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna just let us go around the room. So Sandan-san, 1番 onegaishimasu.
食べて。
Okay, so 食べる、食べて。2番 BZ-san.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was lost in grammar.
Okay.
勝って。
顔買って。はい。3番。
読む読んで。
はい。4番。
書いて。
書く、書いて。はい。5番。
くる、か、きて。
来る、来て。
きて。OK。
来る、来て。はい。じゃあ、アンバーさん。6番。
マジで
No, matsu, and then it's a small tsu, so it becomes
待って
matte. Okay, and Kashi-san?
遊んで
はい、遊ぶ、遊んで。8番、Urima-san?
として
Toru, and then it's a small tsu
right
that you don't pronounce. So,
Totte.
totte.
とって
Yeah, there you go. Toru, totte. Okay, 9番、Santorin-san?
スルーして。
はい、スルーして。10番、BZ-さん? 10番。
忙しく。I don't know.
急ぐ、急いで、
急いで。
急いで、はい。急ぐ、急いで。はい。11番、
This one 行って。
行く、行って。Yes, the exception. 行く、行って。はい。
寝る、寝て。
寝る、寝て。はい。ザンプさん。
死ぬ、死んで。
はい。じゃあ、アンバーさん。
話して
はい。カシさん。
帰る帰って
帰る、帰って。はい。And remember that it's with small two, 帰る、帰って。Not 帰って. It's very easy to confuse those two sounds with the small two and without the small two for English speakers, so be careful of that. Okay. Did everybody listen to the annoying little song in their CDs?
It's pretty catchy.
Yeah. Does anybody feel like it's helping them memorize their TED forms? Sorry, kind of?
Question, is that actually a real song to use?
I'm not sure. I got the impression that they made it up for this textbook.
Seems alright.
Yeah, but I had a different textbook that taught TED form coming off of the Moss forms
Yeah.
instead of off of the dictionary forms. And that textbook actually used a different song. They used the tune of Oh Christmas Tree for theirs.
wow
I wish I still had a copy of it because it would be interesting to compare the two. I'm not sure which one would be more helpful, but at any rate. Okay, so now let's look at part C, make polite requests. So Turima-san, can you read the example for us?
日本語を話し
日
ください
本語、
日本語を話し
日本
ください
語を
日本語を話しください
話して
話してください
はい、話してください. So you see how the TED form plus ください is working here, right? 日本語を話してください. So if the original phrase, because that obviously means please, what? Please speak Japanese. So if you just have the speak Japanese part, that's 日本語を話します, right? 日本語を話す. So you change the dictionary form or the Moss form into the TED form, 話して, and then add ください.
Did they,
So 日本語を話してください. That's
didn't
how
they
you
teach
structure
before
it.
that when you're talking about languages, you use de? 日本語で話してください.
You can do it either way. 日本語で話してください is like, please speak using Japanese. 日本語を話してください is more like the object that of your speech is Japanese, that's what you're speaking.
So in English, they mean the same thing.
They mean the same thing in English. There's a very slight difference in connotation in Japanese. Generally, if you don't have any other object in the sentence, Nihongo o hanashimasu is common. But if you're talking about something or other using Japanese, then you would switch to Nihongo de. So for example, let's say you're talking to your friend about, I don't know, politics or something. Nihongo de seiji ni tsuite hanashimasu. Okay, so if your topic is something else, then you might say that more specifically and then use Nihongo de hanashimasu. You're talking about whatever it is by means of Japanese language. But
Okay.
if you're just saying that you're
Okay.
practicing Japanese, speaking Japanese, Nihongo hanashite kudasai, please speak Japanese works. Okay? So please stand up. Senda-san, how would you say that?
立ってください。
はい、立ってください. Please listen would be
切ってください。切ってください。
聞いてください. Make sure you're not saying 切って.
Oh yeah.
It's 聞いてください.
聞いてください。
Please don't cut.
Yeah, it's not saying please cut, it's saying please listen. So 聞いてください.
聞いてください。
Not 切ってください. So 聞いてください. はい. Please read the book.
本を読んでください。
はい、本を読んでください. Please look at me.
私を見てください。見てください。
はい、私を見てください.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. It's the
Yes,
whole
particle o. Yes. Looking at someone, it's actually going to take particle o because that's the object you're supposed to look at in this case.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I had something similar for number 6.
Yeah,
coming up.
私を見てください. じゃあ5番どうぞ.
Alright, that would be me. So, so 教科書を I'm trying to read my own writing. 教科書を持ってください。持ってきてください。
はい、持ってきてください. 持ってきてください. Let's practice saying that.
I really need to break
持っ
these down.
てきて、
持ってきて。
持ってきてください.
持ってきてください。
はい、持ってきて。
持ってきて。
持って
持っ
きて。
てきて。
持ってきて。
はい、
持ってきて。
はい、持ってきてください. はい、そう、教科書を持ってきてください.
My
Right,
handwriting
that's
is-
a very important phrase to be able to say, isn't it? はい、じゃあ、カシーさん、6番お願いします.
漢字を教えてください。
はい、漢字を教えてください. Now, you don't have to have a pronoun there, but if you wanted to put the me in there, what particle would it need?
That's what I was going to ask.
Ah, anybody have an idea?
No. わ
I don't know. I put "o" in the thing, but it sounds
Okay.
repetitive.
Well, oh, sounds a little weird, right? It's please teach me Japanese,
So would it
right?
be watashi o, kanji o?
Let's turn it around a little.
Okay.
Let's turn it around in English first. Please teach Japanese,
To me.
right,
To me.
to me. Does that help you a little bit? Figure out what particle you would need.
Oh yeah, me.
So it would start with, well, it's going to
Kanji?
start with me, right?
Oh, right.
私は
Backwards.
日本
So,
So
me
watashi.
would be watashi, and now we know the kanji for watashi, so we write it that way, right?
Yeah.
Watashi,
は
O?
Me.
me.
Yeah.
Why is it
Me.
me? Because to
To.
me, right? So watashi me, and then
日本語
ni, hon. The kanji for go is one we haven't covered yet, but I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so that's go.
Watashi ni.
私に日本語を教えてください.
Yeah.
And then if you want to use the kudasai kanji, you can. Okay. So, 私に日本語を教えてください. Now, like I said before, just 日本語を教えてください is fine because the 私に part is understood
Okay.
in context. You know, if you're sitting there with your book open and your homework open and you say to your friend Hitoshi, 日本語を教えてください, it's obvious that you mean teach you, not some random person out there somewhere, right?
Go teach Japanese.
But if you wanted to clarify it for some reason, then 私に would be the phrase to add.
Like there's like 3 people right beside you with books open.
Right,
Yeah.
right. If it wasn't clear who was needing the help with Japanese. 私に日本語を教えてください. Okay, please return my book. じゃあ7番アンバーさん.
私の本を返してください。
はい。私の本を返してください. Nice. 私の本を返してください. はい、じゃあ8番トリマさん.
ゆっくり話してください。
はい、ゆっくり話してください.
Wait, which one is that on
ゆ
again?
っくり
Oh, oh.
話してください. You remember? ゆっくり is one of our new vocabulary.
I was looking at the wrong number.
Okay? But again, I want us to practice this one, okay? So, ゆっくり話してください. How many people have wanted to say this at times when they heard people speaking Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, ゆっくり話してください. Let's practice it.
ゆっくり話してください。
ゆっくり
はい
話し、て
ゆっ
ください。
くり
ゆっくり
話して
話して
ください.
ください。
ゆっくり話してください.
ゆっくり話してください。
はい. Very important phrase to know for survival when you first get to Japan.
Yeah.
But be aware, not all Japanese people understand how to follow this direction. They think they do, but what they end up doing is to use like 持ってきてください as an example. They'll say 持ってきてください. They'll say each for they'll
So
space out the phrases, but they'll still say each individual word fast. And if it's the individual word that your ear isn't catching, then it doesn't always help.
so how would you get people?
Just もう一度言ってください. Or もう一
もう一度言ってください。
もう一度 is again one more time.
Oh, oh, 一度。
もう一度言ってください. This 言って is to say 言ってください.
I always heard it as 一度 for some reason.
もう一度言ってください.
They just kind of hope that they get it. They probably get it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you get them to say it often enough, eventually your ear will catch up.
Yeah.
If you can get them to repeat it identically all the time. Sometimes they don't get it. But yeah, a lot of Japanese people don't really understand how to slow down enough.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to be patient and, you know, practice listening fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so ゆっくり話してください. じゃあ9番サンルンさん.
聞いてください。
Please come with me.
So
So
it would be
来てください
私に聞いてください
would be just come, but with me,
私と。
私と来てください. That works. What was the together with phrase that we learned
一緒に
last? 一緒に.
一緒に。
Oh,
So-
right.
So the more likely idiom in Japanese would be 一緒に来てください. Please come with me. Doesn't actually have the phrase me in it in Japanese usually. Usually 一緒に来てください is going to be the most common way to put that together. 一緒に来てください. So like, let's say you just ask somebody, トイレはどこですか? And then they answered you, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, もう一度言ってください. ゆっくり言ってください. And they've repeated themselves like 5 times and you still don't get it.
And you really have
Then
to
they're going to
go.
be like, 一緒に来てください. And they'll take you there.
Right.
Yeah.
早く。
はい。 緒に来てください。OK、じゃあ10番、BZ さん。
What verb would I use for this?
あ
呼んで for 呼ぶ
I
or
think, no,
電話をかけ
this
て
is 電話をかける、yes.
So then it'd be just 明日電話をかけてください。
はい、明日電話をかけてください。
There's no need here, correct? Because it's a relative time phrase?
Right, 明日 does not take me. 明日、I'm trying to remember if you guys have had this kanji. 明日.
I've seen it before.
No, we haven't had the one.
Okay,
But we
well,
have
that's 明日. Okay, and then 電話をかけてください, right?
Yep.
If, again, once more, just like the other one, if you wanted to make it explicitly clear that you mean call you, not call some other person, you could say watashi ni, and then 電話をかけて
Oh, so it's watashi ni. Okay.
ください. If you want the to me part in there, then it's going to be watashi ni again.
So it's watashi
Okay.
ni, not watashi o?
Right. 私を No, because it's 電話をかけてください. Because what are you かけてing? It's the phone, right?
Yeah.
What are you, the verb goes to 電話, right? So,
Okay.
電話をかけてください. Because the かける verb, its base meaning comes from like to hang on a wall. Think the old-fashioned telephones from like the 1920s where you hung the
okay.
receiver on a little hook
Yeah.
when you were done. So you can maybe think about, maybe that's where the idiom came from. I can't guarantee that's where it came from, but that's a good guess, right? That might be where the idiom came from, denwo kakeru, but you're actually, you're using that verb to indicate making the phone call, right? So denwo kakeru is not just to talk on the phone, it's the actual action of making a phone call.
Please
Okay.
hang the phone.
Yeah. So, 私に電話をかけてください is please make a phone call to me. Right? So, please call me. Okay, じゃあ11番、クルーンさん。
はい。友達を、communicate, right? 友達を持ってきてください。
Oh, you're gonna stick them in your bag and carry them?
See, there we go.
Kidnapping!
Wrong one, sorry. 友達を連れてきてください。
There you go. 友達を連れてきてください。
I'm not playing the kidnap my friend.
Okay, 友達を連れてきてください is bring your friend along, right? 持ってきてください sounds like one of those little dogs that fits in your purse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Must be a really small friend.
yeah. So yeah, if you're friends with Tom Thumb, then maybe 持ってきてください works, but 連れてきてください would be more appropriate for
Yeah.
a full-size person.
If you pick the other one, you might offend people. So
Right.
you just try, just plop in. There you go.
Okay. So, please bring your friend would be 持ってきてください。連れてきてください。Sorry, 連れてきてください versus 教科書を持ってきてください。Remember?
Yeah.
So, please bring your textbook 持ってきてください. Right? But please bring a friend or your parents or any other human 連れてきてください.
Alright.
Okay. いいですか?
Yeah.
じゃあ、パート D やりましょう。So, now we're looking at situations and seeing if we can figure out what Japanese phrase they're actually saying. So, ジョーさん、example を読んでください。
窓を開けてください。
はい。So, make sense? He's sweating up a storm there, so he says, 窓を開けてください. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is after the section where I had a lot of questions on.
Okay, どうぞ。
So, yeah, I'm wondering for the first one, would you use electricity for the...
Ah, yes.
That's what I was wondering.
You would. So,
Because I
and the
don't think
light
he-
is shining, and she's asking him to do something with the switch, so it would be,
So it would be denki o... Let's see if I can read this. Keshite kudasai?
exactly right. Denki o keshite kudasai. Okay, please turn out the light. Kesu, by the way, is a verb that works for this action. as well as turning out the lights. Kesu means to erase or extinguish. And so, you know,
So you wouldn't use the actual word for light?
you would use denki.
Well, doesn't denki also mean light?
Yeah, denki.
I thought it was hikari that meant light.
Well, hikari means the abstract concept of light, but an
Oh.
electric light is called denki.
Okay.
Okay, make sense? Yeah, hikari is like just light in general, like the concept, sunlight or moonlight or electric light or any kind of light. It could also refer to the spiritual concept of light.
I see.
Yeah, hikari is very abstract. Okay, so, so 1番 was 電気を消してください。Okay, じゃあアンバーさん2番。
耐えてください。耐えてください。
立ってください is possible.
What if you wanted to do two of them? Would it be like 立ってと聞いてください?
No to, just 立って来てください。
Okay, so no to.
Yeah, just leave the to out. 立って来てください would be possible, but do you think it's necessary in this case?
Not necessarily.
You know, if she's calling him to come back to see the doctor or whatever, most likely just 来てください would be fine. Please come is more likely than 立ってください.
And if you wanted to put
Because
the
立ってください just means stand up, right?
yeah.
So she doesn't want him to just stand there, right? She wants him to actually come with her, follow her, right? So 来てください would be like, please come.
So if you wanted to include the with me, even though it's understood, it would be watashi ni.
No, it was 一緒に, 一緒に,
Oh, okay.
together with. 一緒に来てください would be possible there also. Or just 来てください. Or if she's being polite, which is very likely since she's the nurse and he's the patient, she would probably say どうぞ来てください. どうぞ is like please, right? An invitational kind of please. So どうぞ来てください is politer than just 来てください. Okay. じゃあキャシーさん、3番お願いします。
座ってください。
はい、座ってください。And there again, どうぞ座ってください is more likely just because of that kind of circumstance.
If you, yeah, I included the thing that's
Okay.
this, so it would be a isu ni.
椅子に座ってください is also possible. In the context of a teacher and a student like that, 椅子に座ってください sounds a little harsh. It sounds like he's about to get reamed for something.
Oh, I see. It's kind of like when your
But-
parents call your full name out or
Yeah,
something.
it's like, 椅子に座ってください. It sounds like, sit your butt down, I need to talk to you, and it's not gonna be good. But どうぞ座ってください would be like, please have a seat. You know, and that's gonna sound more like an invitation, like, you know, you called me because you wanted help with your homework. どうぞ座ってください, let me help you.
Couldn't you
And
say like,
that
you know,
sounds a lot friendlier.
could you make it a kind
I
of
see.
question like suate masen, say it wrong.
Oh, like,
Yeah, masen ka almost at the end of a sentence. Kind of like,
you can actually do that to kudasai. Kudasai is actually a shortened form of the verb kudasaimasu. So you can say, if you want to be extra polite, 座ってくださいませんか? You can actually do the masenka version of kudasai to make it a very polite invitation. 座ってくださいませんか is kind of like, won't you please do me the favor of sitting down for me so that I'm not getting a crick in my neck. But that's more likely if you're, for example, hosting a much older person in your home or, you know, something like that, where you might say, どうぞ座っていただけませんか? どうぞ座ってくださいませんか? Those are very formal phrases.
okay.
I see.
Okay, so どうぞ座ってくださいませんか is super, super formal.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but どうぞ座ってください is very polite and appropriate for a teacher talking to a student when the student isn't in big trouble. Okay, じゃあ、4番 whose turn was it? はいどうぞ。
サンデーをください。
Say again?
サンデーをください。サ
Um,
ンデ
急いで。
a Sunday? As in,
Sunday.
please have fun.
ー No, can I do it in hurry?
Oh, 急いで。
急いで。
Okay, 急いでください。
Because
Yes.
I conjugated in de.
Oh, okay. It's 急ぐ. So 急いで. So 急いでください. Yes. Please hurry up. He's sitting there looking at his watch.
Yeah,
Come
could
on
you also-
already.
Could you also say 買い物 or 急いで? Or is that just
That's
awkward?
awkward. Hurry up the shopping? No, it kind of sounds weird.
I wrote in my homework, please let me borrow your dress so I can go out next weekend.
So 急いでください is please hurry up. And she's actually replying there. Can you come up with a reply?
ちょっと待ってください。
There you go.
どちら欲しいですか？
はい。ちょっと待ってください。Yeah, or just 待ってください. So he's saying 急いでください and she's saying 待ってください. Right?
Well, she's ignoring him. She just
Yeah, well, she's got a speech bubble in there,
Yeah.
so.
She's like, hi.
No, I mean ignoring his question, but like,
Yeah.
which one do I want kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so 5番、三分さん。
窓を閉めてください。
はい、窓を閉めてください。He's shivering and there's a cold breeze coming in. So 窓を閉めてください。はい。わかりますか？
はい。
はい。
Okay. So now let's do a few more. So now we've got requests such as please stand up and please take a picture, ask your partner to act it out. Okay, so this is sort of freestyle. So
We have 3 minutes.
So my suggestion is let's just kind of play it like a little bit of a charades game. So, Bizi-san, could you read the example for us?
コーヒーを飲んでください。
Okay, so and then Kruan would do like a motion like So, and we can also practice like how you would reply. If somebody offers you koyo nonde kudasai, what could you reply to that?
Hi.
Okay. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to make sure we talked about. From your vocab list, kekko desu is sort of ambiguous, right?
What is kekko desu again?
Kekko desu.
Oh,
One
that'll
of
be
their
fine.
that'll be fine, or
That wouldn't be
that
necessary.
wouldn't be necessary. Those sound sort of contradictory, don't they?
Yeah.
But here's an example. Koyo nonde kudasai, and the person it's being offered to doesn't want coffee or doesn't like coffee, or they're just completely stuffed and they have no room for coffee right now.
Oh, so it's like saying, it's fine, it's fine.
It's fine, that won't be necessary. Kekko desu.
How does that differ from daijobu?
Daijobu
It's
is very
okay,
different
right?
actually in usage.
Isn't it like telling someone it's gonna be alright?
Yeah,
Or I am
daijobu
alright?
desu is it's going to be okay, or I'm fine, in the sense of like, you see somebody who tripped and fell. Daijoubu desu ka? Are you okay? Hai, daijoubu desu. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not hurt. Kekko desu is sometimes translated as I'm fine, but in the sense of, for example, you know,
You don't want
here,
any
have a fourth helping of sushi. Kekko desu. I've had enough, thanks. You know?
Alright.
You know, and Japanese people sometimes, trying to be generous and polite, will take their chopsticks and pick up a piece of food and put it on the plate for you. And you're like, kekko desu. I don't want any more. And it's okay to just leave it sitting there if you really can't eat anymore. If you eat it, if you force yourself to choke it down, they will probably put more.
Yeah.
Same thing with drinking. If you really don't want any more to drink, don't drain your cup.
Yeah.
Because they will take an empty cup as a sign that you need more to drink.
Yeah.
So it's okay after they've poured it, if you really don't want any more, to just let it sit there. until somebody else comes along wanting to pour you another drink, and then you have to take a little tiny sip to make some room so they can pour some in.
So, wait, just a quick question about
Hi.
all these exercises. Which are the ones do we actually have to write down in our notebooks? for
All
check?
of them.
What about the
Because
song?
I don't think I'm just saying, I don't
Well,
think
the
we can write down
s-
singing a song or
Okay,
pair
yeah, the
work.
song you don't need to, but the pair work I do want you to. So for
What if we don't
example,
have someone to do pair work with?
you don't have to do,
Make up a person.
yeah, just make up a person and practice. So
Okay.
in other words, for the E, make up 5 sentences or so yourself, okay? We may or may not have time to practice them in
I
class,
think this was on our homework.
huh?
This-
It may not have been specifically listed by page number, but you know what? My assignment at the end of every chapter, it always says, complete any unfinished exercises from the chapter. That includes write out answers to part A, write out answers to part C, write out answers to part D, write out your own creations for part E,
Right. But
okay?
I think what I'm asking is, you asked us to do pages 156 or 158 through 160 for homework.
Okay, let's see. Page
158 to
156.
160, and then the workbook are pages 57 through
Wow,
59 through
okay.
35.
That was my oversight. I meant to include from page 156.
Okay.
So that was a typo. Okay, so I will,
Okay, so pair words, we just make up an imaginary friend.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretend you've got a partner to practice with and just do it.
And
Just
the
do all of
freestyle
the
stuff.
work.
Yeah.
Just do all the work in the chapter.
Just
Yeah.
do all the work in the chapter.
Okay.
And assume that I'm going to be counting up all of it,
Have a make-believe friend.
and yes.
I can
for-
do that.
Okay,
So freestyle work, just like 5 sentences or so?
yeah, if there are no specific questions, 5 or so sentences is a reasonable number, I think. If you feel like you want to keep practicing, if you're struggling with creating these and you feel like you need more practice, by all means, do as many as you need until you feel comfortable with it. This is, I think, the final exercise for this particular grammar point before it moves on to the next grammar point.
Which we
So
haven't
if you're
got to
feeling
yet.
like you're still struggling, well, the next grammar point is temoides, which we talked about briefly on Tuesday.
Oh,
And then
that
it
one.
goes on to tewa ikemasen.
I don't think we went over
and
Tewa Ikemasen.
We talked about tewa ikemasen briefly on Tuesday. So I want you to do those for homework this weekend. On Tuesday, we're supposed to have already finished those, but we took longer on some other things today.
Oh, wait,
So
what
we-
about the workbook stuff too?
The same deal. Every piece of workbook homework is due for each chapter, but
What I'm
again,
saying
if
is,
you've
have we
got
covered enough
questions,
material? Have we covered enough material that we can actually start doing it?
yes, you should be able to do the first 1, 2, 3.
I forgot the page number
4.
exactly. What is it?
You should be able to do at least the first 4 pages of Lesson 6 workbook
Okay.
from what we did today.
So don't go by the syllabus, just do the whole chapter. on
Just
everything.
do the whole chapter, but the guide, this is just a guideline for what I think we might get to in class that you should prepare ahead of time so that you're ready for class.
Okay.
This is not
Okay.
the be-all and end-all of what's due. This is just, if you prepare this much, you'll probably have enough of the homework done that you'll be able to participate fully in class and not feel lost. You know, but as far as what's due at the end of the chapter, all of it. Make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about.
Okay.
That would have been tough.
What's that?
That would have been Tahina.
Okay, so,
The hand
I
is
have
stop.
a little bit of an
Okay.
off-topic question. Now that we're
okay,
done.
we
Wait,
are,
I
we
passed
are
it.
out of time, so if you need to leave, go ahead. He's got an off-topic question.
Shika versus dake. I know
Scott
dake can be
dake.
both
Yes.
affirmative
They're
and
very
non-affirmative.
What is it?
Scott versus Dake, he's asking you about a grammar point we haven't covered yet.
Okay.
but if you're interested, you can listen. So, shika and dake.
Shika and
Because I know that they
Okay.
both mean only or just, kind of.
Right.
But dake can
But,
be affirmative and negative. Like sore dake
So,
desu.
let's say you've only
Fine.
got one of something. Hitotsu shika arimasen.
So like there's only one left, right?
Yeah, I only have one. I don't have more. I only have one.
so why it uses the
Versus-
negative?
Yeah, this one uses the negative. Hitotsu dake arimasu uses the positive.
I
The
have one.
difference is in connotation.
So I
Okay.
have one versus I
Hitotsu
only have.
shika arimasen is you only have one and you feel like you should have more, or you wish you had more,
Right.
or you
Oh.
regret that you don't have more, you're sad that you don't have more. It's a negative feeling. I wish there was more, but there's only one left.
Okay.
Hitotsu dake arimasu is you're just limiting it. I only have one. You don't feel like you necessarily need more, but you're saying, but hey, there's only one.
So, but you can
There
say
can only
hitotsu
be
dake
one.
arimasen. And what's that? But you can't say
Hitotsu
shika
dake?
arimasu.
Yeah, hitotsu dake arimasen. That doesn't sound right to me.
Because I mean, it's from that book. And he was just talking about how dake can be, it can be used in positive and negative sentences, but shika
Okay.
can't. And I don't,
Where is this in the
it's on the
book?
website. Oh, it's from that book.
Oh, it's from here.
Yeah.
Hitotsu dake arimasen. That just sounds weird to me.
Mm.
I'm used to dake with positive and shika with negative. Okay?
The example they gave was sore dake desu, that's all.
Yeah.
Sore dake de wa arimasen, that's not all. Sore shika,
Oh,
Oh.
okay, that's the difference.
sore shika arimasen, that's the only one left.
Yeah, so sore dake de wa arimasen is, it's not the only one. So it's not all. So hitotsu dake arimasen would be I don't have just one, I have more than one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like if there's
But
a,
that's very rarely used, I think.
Advertising? But that's not all.
yeah.
Very possible.
Are we still doing the Japanese club and the study?
Not during the summer. Anybody who wants to get together a study group is certainly free to put together a study group.
But we don't actually have lab hours this time.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we
You
do.
do?
Yeah,
Oh wait, that's right, the lab cards. I totally forgot.
yeah, we did the lab cards.
How many hours do we need?
It's
again?
still 16, just like in the regular semester.
No, 24 for you. 24.
So even, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so an hour and a half to 2 hours a week should cover it.
I should probably write that down before I forget.
Yes, it should.
Or like me, just spend all your time in the language lab.